What is up, Fantasy Land? We are in the draft room for a monster draft tonight. The hard way, Big Gorilla on the FFPC for $1 million top prize, over $5 million in prize money. This is against 11 of the biggest, baddest, high stakes drafters in the game. You'll know some of these names when I pull up the board tonight. It's going to be a fun one, man. There's obviously we're just coming out of the rookie draft. We've got trades that happened today, Jacksonville and Dallas, with regards to, or not Jacksonville. Jacksonville said goodbye to one of their receivers, and Pittsburgh sent one of their receivers, obviously, to Dallas and George Pickens. So it's going to be interesting to see how the draft boards, how the ADPs are adjusting to the newness, all the shifting happening in the league. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you're here watching in the comments. Let me just get my little comment window here. And we've got 1912 in the house. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for joining. We've got Jamie in the house as usual. What's up, my sound guy? Appreciate you, man. The sound I think is good, so I could take the headsets probably at this point. We've got Stephanie Miller in the house. Welcome to the draft room. Tonight's going to be a monster draft, guys. I'm super pumped for this. Literally waited 5 years on a waiting list to get in this draft because it's a tight. And we got one guy right here, Mike Shopes, who's on the road right now. He'll be drafting on the road. Let me take these guys off. But he's in this draft room as well. I think him and Adam might be sharing a team. I think that's what they're doing. But I'll pull up the draft board. We'll chat a bit about what's happening tonight. Let me get that up for you guys. That is not the one. There we go. All right. So the table is set. You guys can see on the screen here, we've got the deep end guys. So yeah, Adam and Shopes are in the one spot. Buy-in for this is $350. It's $1 million to first. 5.7, I believe, is the... Let me pull that up for you guys. It's 5 point something, the prize money. This tournament just gets bigger and bigger. I always joke because the first time I ever joined the FFPC was to play this tournament. They're $350 buy-in. I think back in the day it was the football guys. It was called the football guys. I won my league. I still have my little medallion. There it is. My little football guys league champ medallion. And you know, you win your first league, you think you're the man. I think, oh man, this high stake thing's easy. Made it pretty good, pretty far. And been hooked ever since, man. You add, I was going through my history, how many leagues I've played, how many leagues I've won. The best ball, before they was called best ball, I think they were called best 10s or something like that. But I've been on the FFPC now since 2013 or 2014, and just my favorite platform to play on. If you're not already on the site, use the code DRBALLER, DRBALLER. Let's get some tunes going. You guys know how we do it over here in the draft room. It's draft room after dark. So we've got Nick in the house. I believe Go Bills is drafting tonight. So we've got them in the right beside me. Neighbor, what's up, neighbor? In the 8 spot. I drew the 9 spot. I've drone. Is it drone? I've drone. I have had, my French is kicking in here. I've had, actually shout out to GSP for the big win today. Woo. But I've had the 8 or the 9 spot in every gorilla I've done. And then I joined a, what was it, a drafters earlier? I think I had the 9 spot. I cannot get out of the 8 and 9 spots. So all three of you guys are here drafting at 8. There you go. Guys, I'm telling you, these are literally the best drafters in the game. Nick and the crew, I believe you guys won, is it back-to-back this tournament? Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be getting that wrong, but I'm pretty sure you guys won this thing back-to-back. So between them, I've got Abib beside me. He's won back-to-back. I believe it's this one. I believe it's this tournament that Abib's won back-to-back as well. So we've got Abib and Go Bills. So we've got previous champions on each side of us tonight. We've got Bradley from Player Profiler. No, you guys won the main event. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. They won the main event. That's the $2,000 buy-in. So there you go. I've got Abib, who's won this tournament back-to-back. I've got Go Bills, who have won the main event on the other side. Oh, and Abib won the main twice. See, I'm rusty, man. I haven't had all you guys on the shows in a while. So I'm hoping that Dan and I can reunite and respark the district. Bring back the show for you guys and focus on high stakes. We'll get all you guys back on when we both come back from vacation. So that's being announced right here for the first time. The GOAT District show will be back in June. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. You won't miss an episode. We're going to bring a lot of these heavy hitters back to talk high stakes fantasy. We've got Bradley from Player Profiler. You know him in the 12 spot. I think him and I are the new additions. Yes, that's Bradley Stalder. We've got Mojo. That's Fantasy Mojo. If you guys play any fantasy, you need to be subscribed to Fantasy Mojo, especially FFPC, because he hooks up all the ADPs from FFPC, all the big tournament ADPs, the best balls, everything on there. I've got one up right now in front of me. Jeffrey's in the house. What's up? Actually, Jeffrey, shout out to Jeffrey, newest subscriber to the channel. That's right. GOAT District will be back, guys, in June. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've got Run the Hard Way, which is Todd. You guys know Todd. He used to have a best ball show not that long ago. Noah, we've had in the district. He's one of the biggest, baddest drafters. Austin just dominates, well, high stakes overall, but I think he's one of the best dynasty players in the game. And then you've got the overhyped sleeper, my boy Dan Williamson, in the 3 spot. Theo Greminger, one of the previous GOAT District members, now with Fantasy Points. He's in tonight's draft. And then the deep end guys, which is, I believe, Adam and Mike Shope. So, guys, when I said this was a heavy hitter and this was the biggest drafters in the game, I was not exaggerating, guys. Not at all exaggerating. So I appreciate you guys joining the live chat. Make sure you guys stay active in the chat. Let me know how you're liking the builds, who you like, who you don't like. We'll be going for the full draft. Bip is not in this one, 1912. I don't know if Bip's ever been in this one. I know a couple guys did not. This is one of these drafts where every year the same guys kind of got an auto reboot. So I think this year Bradley and myself are the new additions. I'd love to bring each guy on 1912. The invitation was put out there. But I know a lot of these guys prefer drafting from, their control centers, that kind of thing. So we'll see. I really wanted to get this out for you guys. I was excited to do this. It's always a little harder to draft and stream, but I've got some practice in. We've got the technical issues ironed out. Hopefully the music level, my sound level is good for you guys. And yeah, man, I'm ready to pounce on this thing. I've got 2 slow drafts right now that I'm doing, or big gorillas that I'm doing right now with the Hairy Snowman. You guys know the Hairy Snowman. So we've got a couple slow ones that we're tag teaming. I think Bradley, what did Mike tell me? I think Mike and Brad and Adam I'm not sure. I think guys were tied up. Like I said, Shopes is drafting from his car. I think he had to drive the kids around to some sporting events. I know my wife had to take my daughter to her MMA Taekwondo classes tonight because I was getting ready for this show. So guys, stay tuned, stay in the channel, smash that like button. We're gonna have a blast tonight. The music is gonna be in the background as usual, keeping it lively. Cheers to anyone that's joining us. Bradley probably babysitting. He probably is. His little ones. I don't want to say what, a few months now? Not a year, I don't think. So Mike said Adam's on his way from soccer. Go Bills are the best. Second best, 1912. Second best. You know how we do it, man. We're the draft room ballers, son. JD's about to pounce in this draft room. Nah, Go Bills are the best, man. Those guys are awesome. I actually met them in Vegas for the live drafts, the live FFPC drafts. I went down a couple years ago. Dan and I did a couple main events. We actually won our league. And then we're back this year, so we'll be drafting another main event this year. Harry Snowman and I won a main event entry through this tournament, actually. So if you win your league in this tournament, you get an entry into the main event. And there's different levels of winning. If you finish the top 2, then you can win your league in the playoffs, and then you can then you go into the big money tournaments, right? So. And that's right, Stephanie, we did draft against each other in the main. That is correct. I knew you were familiar. That's so funny. Such a small world, man. I love it. I love it. And Theo, that's right. Theo was there. Dan was there. That is correct. So a lot of love in the room tonight. Let me know what you guys think about the trade today. The draft's about to get started here. We got a few seconds. Let me know what you guys think about the Pickens trade. I love it for Dak. Obviously, Dak's a guy I've been drafting all offseason. He was undervalued, coming back. CeeDee Lamb. I mean, we're going to see tonight where all these guys fall. But Pickens, it'll be interesting to see where he goes in the draft. How much the high stakes, the sharps like him landing in Dallas. DK Metcalf gets a bump with less target, fighting. See what Deep End does in the one spot. Pretty chalk. Chase has been pretty much the one-on-one in most drafts. Let me get my little... That is not what I wanted to get up. There we go. So Bijan Robinson in the 2 spot. Again, pretty chop. I've got basically the ADP for the last 7 days with through Fantasy Mojo. Good luck, Nick. Good luck, guys. Try not to snipe me too many times in this draft. I mean, that's going to be a given with you guys, Abib. Of course, I get sandwiched between the 2 main event champions. So Bowers goes off the board. Chase, Bijan, pretty chalk. Bowers goes off the board. Dan starts it off with, I mean, it's only fitting that Dan starts it off with a tight end. He is the tight end guru. I like that. I like starting Bowers in these drafts, especially the tight end premiums. He goes usually back end in the non-tight end premium leagues. Sometimes creeps into the early second, but he's pretty much in one of those top picks. Janty Jefferson off the board. So this is redraft, obviously, big money tournament. A lot of entries in this thing. You want to try to get unique, but it's still middle of the off season, so I'm not even looking at like Fantasy Mojo. Again, just to add, they've got a stack finder, so you can actually see how unique your builds are as you build them. I usually use it, especially for solo drafts. I'll use it, but more towards the end of tournaments or like once we get through the halfway point. The Big Gorilla hasn't been going for that long yet, so there's a lot of time before these teams start building in different ways. So not necessarily something I'm going to be tracking tonight. Maybe later on, I might take a quick peek. So Barkley goes off the board to Todd, run the hard way. Noah takes the rookie Genty. Surprised he didn't go CD. He's the Dallas Cowboy fan. See what Mojo does over here. Yeah, 1912 saying with these kind of players should have kicked off in August. I think everybody gets so busy in August, and I think that these guys like doing it before the ADPs kind of settle. You know what? There's one guy I don't have a lot of so far this offseason, and I'm going to go Malik Neighbors here. Start off Malik Neighbors. I mean, I always say once Lamb goes off the board with these receivers, I've got a flat tier. I really like ASB. He's usually the guy that I'll take at the front of this group, but I've already got one big gorilla started with ASB. I've got one big gorilla started with CeeDee Lamb. So I like to mix up my first few builds because you never know where you're going to land in these things, right? So this is usually where you see a nice little run of yellow with Neighbors, Brian Thomas. Genty usually goes as the RB4 off the board. Like I'm looking at, yeah, Gibbs at 8. Gibbs at 8 is pretty juicy. Not gonna lie, I was trying to be quiet there, hoping he'd make it to me, but with the Go Bills guys there, that's not happening, man. They're not letting that value fall, you know. So McBride off the board in the 12 spot with Bradley. Him and Dan must have talked before the show, before the draft, about starting tight end early. Get my guys ready in the queue here. So McBride, Nico Collins on the 12th turn with Bradley. Collins, the thing with Collins and ASB is they're pretty consistent. They're pretty productive. I mean, Nico might have... What's up, Sporting? That's Lance, man. What's up, Lance? I appreciate you jumping in, brother. All right, so all my guys go out of my queue. Let's see who I would have next here. I'm gonna go with London. Yeah, let's go London here. I don't have a lot of Neighbors or London, so that's it, right? What's up, Lance, man? Sports betting, man. I love one of my favorite DM guys. I mean, this guy will drop the best DMs, especially in the hard way DM, and just always entertaining, man. I appreciate you joining. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, guys. I drop at least 3 live drafts a week. I'm doing best ball drafts, redrafts, all kind of live drafts. And like I said, coming in June, the Goat District high stakes show is going to be back. Dan and I are rejoining forces. We're going to get a lot of the high stakes guys back on the show for you guys. This whole channel is all about making you guys the best possible drafters. So you see pretty yellow on the back end of these drafts with, I went Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Amon-Ra, Nico, Puka, London, and Brown. I mean, that whole tier before London, so Nakua, Collins, ASB, Thomas, and Neighbors, it's pretty much a pick your best guy, right? Those three kind of, those what is it, those five guys will kind of shuffle in order, but they're pretty much in that range. And then you'll see like London, Brown, and then the three running backs. So McCaffrey, A-Chain, Taylor are usually the next RBs off the board. I like starting with a couple stud receivers. I just find I always prefer my builds that way. So just going back to the format, if anyone's new to the FFPC, if you are, make sure you're using the promo code DRBaller. You'll get $25 off your first team. And it helps out the channel, guys. Really appreciate it. So it's tight end premium on the FFPC. You've got one tight end, one quarterback in these big gorilla tournaments. You've got two running backs, two receivers, and two flex. And then, of course, your defense and your kicker. I just realized my AC is still on. Let me just turn that off so it's not loud for you guys. All right, we're back. So little running back run with A-Chain, Taylor, and Henry. They're usually, again, with McCaffrey, there's usually a little mix. I find McCaffrey now lately's worked his way ahead of those guys. And then Ladd McConkey's the other guy I was considering with A.J. Brown. They're pretty much the next tier with London. Wilson usually goes around the turn here, so pretty chalk. I mean, we're not going to see anything too out of the norm, especially in the first 3-4 rounds. Kittle's been going usually like middle of the third, so a little early in the second, but I don't mind that at all, man. Kittle's one of my favorite guys. I talk about this often about if you look at Kittle's production, his fantasy points per game, he's right there with Brock and Trey McBride with less games played. So his efficiency is on par with those top two guys. And I mean, you got to think this year with, well, Ayuk obviously starting off a little injured. Mason's gone. You got to think they re-signed Purdy. So Breece Hall goes off the board in the one spot with Chase. You'll usually see like an anchor RB build with that one spot when they start off with that receiver. And then Devontae Adams as the wide receiver 2 in that one build for the deep end team. So pretty chalk. The only thing so far that's a little ahead, I mean, the Kittle one for sure, but Devontae Adams been going actually in the 4th round. Yeah, Austin's tricky, man, in those dynasty. He's like one of those guys where I'll reach out in the DMs if I have a big dynasty trade that I'm not sure about. I definitely respect Austin in the dynasty game. But yeah, I'm sure he likes you if you sent him Jefferson and Ladd. That is for sure. I know I would. I'd be happy with that. What were the trades? Let me know what the trades were. So Terry McLaurin goes off for overhyped sleeper. He's got Garrett Wilson, McLaurin, and then we've got Austin with the triple receiver start with JJ, McConkey, T. Higgins. Noah's got his 2 stud running backs in Genty, Henry, and then comes back with JSN. All right, let's get ready for our next pick here. Of course I get sniped. I'm going to be getting sniped all night by these Go Bills guys. I already know it. I already know it. All right. You guys know how I roll, man. I got to get me my Xavier Worthy share. We're going to start with the 3 receivers. I was gonna go running back there with Chase Brown, but we clearly got sniped. I've got Worthy as the best receiver in Kansas City. I like him over Rice. Injuries, suspensions, all that aside, I think Worthy's gonna take a huge step this year. He looked awesome at the end of last year. That rapport with Mahomes is definitely gonna build, in my opinion. I like that little Royals ad. Oh, what happened here? Seeing something about commissioner assistants. I don't know what that's about. So Theo starting with a Bijan, Kittle, Irving start. I don't know what happened there. There's a little red button with commissioner assistant. So I don't know if somebody switched out a pick or what, but all good. Yeah, something's going on. I think we're on pause right now. Draft paused. All right. So far we've got Todd with the triple RB start with Barkley, Taylor, Jacobs. You've got Theo with Bijan, Kittle, Irving. Everyone else pretty much hit receiver at least once. You've got Noah with Janty, Henry, and JSN. See what happens here. If there's a pick that's going to get taken back, or I don't know what the deal is, but I love getting Worthy as my wide receiver 3. Maybe I could have waited for him to come around, but I'm going to go with my board in this one, especially with these sharps and the way they'll be sniping all night. I was really hoping Chase Brown will make it back. I think he's a really good value right now. Obviously, Cincinnati, the only thing they drafted is Tajay Brooks, who I like, and he can complement Chase Brown really well, but I think that'll just allow Chase to do his thing. And we know that offense is going to be high scoring as long as everyone's healthy, so. What are you guys thinking so far with these starts? Anything stand out? Anything you like or don't like? Might as well get my next cue ready. Yeah, Stephanie, agree. Pretty chalk so far. Like I said, the only thing that's kind of off ADP based on Mojo's last 7 days of this tournament would be Devontae Adams going early 3rd. He usually goes kind of early 4th, mid 4th. And then Kittle went, you know, maybe, what is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 or 10 spots a little early, but I don't hate that at all, man. You got to get your guy in these tournaments, and especially in a draft like this, when you're in with a bunch of sharps, you got to go get your guys. That's kind of why I took Worthy. I want to make sure I get my guy. The chat. Which chat are we looking at? Oh, I haven't even been paying attention to the chat, man. That's funny. Damn, they're getting a little nasty in there. I totally missed all that. I don't use the chat, man. I don't know, like I don't use the league chats on the platform when I get in these drafts. So I wasn't even paying attention. All right, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's happening here? Why are we redoing? I don't know what just happened. I think Todd, is it Todd that changed Jacobs? Is that what I'm seeing here? I still got sniped. That didn't help me at all. I still get sniped. I'm still going worthy. Oh, hell yeah. I don't know what happened there, man. I totally missed it. Shopes, did you catch that? I wonder if Todd... Or was it Mojo with the Tyreek Hill? I don't know. I totally missed that. I know Noah did have JSN. Oh, that was the change. Okay. Thanks, Lance. So it looks like... let me switch this back. I don't like this background here. Let me go... No, I don't like that either, actually. Ah! There we go. We'll keep it like that for now, then. All right, so Kyron Williams goes off the board with a little LA Rams stackage. Thing I like about these scheduled drafts on FFPC, especially these bigger tournaments, is you're not super rushed with your picks. Like, you have time each pick. So no excuse to auto draft, even if you're streaming. Sometimes in those fast drafts, when I'm streaming, I will auto pick once in a while, like once per draft type of thing. Not on purpose, but it happens. So Lamar goes off the board as the first quarterback. Josh Allen follows suit. Ken Walker goes off the board. All right, let's see here. We got a couple options. Two guys I'm looking at right now. Let's see where their ADPs go. Pretty similar. All right, let's do something different. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels here. I don't think I have any Jaden Daniels in any of these big tournaments. The thing I like about going earlier quarterback in these type of drafts is you can just take one. And that's a big advantage because you don't have to worry about kind of tag teaming, getting two guys. You know, getting two guys later on in the middle rounds. So I've done it with Hurts. I was hoping maybe Lamar would fall to me here, but I like getting Daniels because you know even like for best balls you can go naked Daniels, naked Allen. But if I can get one of these studs, get an advantage here, I don't mind it. Yeah, Go Bills picks up Harrison. He's one of the guys I was considering. Where's he going? Let's see. Yeah, so he actually made it around. He usually goes kind of mid to back end of the third, so that's a nice value there with Harrison. We already had our 3 stud receivers, so not necessarily looking to grab a fourth one right away. RJ Harvey, who last 7 days been kind of averaging in the 5th round, he goes to Mojo in the middle of the 4th. So we start seeing some of these rookie ADPs shuffle around, and that's kind of what we're looking for tonight to see where the differences are. So DJ Moore, the first receiver off the board for Todd. He's got Barkley, Taylor, Jacobs, DJ Moore. Noah picks up Evans as his wide receiver 2. Let's see if Austin keeps pissing yellow, or is he gonna switch it up here? Laporta was basically it was Laporta, Harrison, or Daniels is who I was deciding between. And I've got Laporta. And I just have no Daniels, like I said. So a tournament like this, I don't mind going with a stud quarterback. Best ball, I rather wait a lot of the time. But these redraft tournaments where I can just take one and not have to worry about the position at all until bye weeks, until waivers, I mean, it's a bit of an advantage. So Dan picks up Tet as his wide receiver 3. I actually like that. He's another guy I was considering there. I'm going to switch this up a bit. Actually, let's leave it. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the music. We leave it on this or we switch it up a bit. Right now we've got on a bit of a hip hop feel. We could put on the house feel if you guys want. We're a little limited with the music we can stream live on YouTube. So those are basically my 2 options right now. So Theo just going bully running back with Bijan, Irving, and James Cook. And George Kittle. So he doesn't have a receiver yet. Let's see what the one spot does. The deep end boys, Adam and Mike Shope. Great show, by the way, today, Mike. ADP Chasers. I watched that earlier. Try to catch you guys on there when I can. So Travis Hunter goes off the board. Interesting. See where he's been going. I mean, some people were thinking because Gabe Davis got dropped by Jacksonville, that would help Hunter. I don't know. Gabe Davis to me was insignificant to begin with, so I think it helps more of the guys like Demi Brown and is it Parkinson? Yeah, totally. Stephanie, totally agree. Like I said, I'll try to tune in anytime I can. Mike Shope, definitely a great host on that one with the boys. So Alvin Kamara goes off as the RB2. I'm going to start putting guys in my queue here. DK Metcalf off the board. He's definitely a guy that got a bump today. That's funny. Stephanie Miller's got the good ones today. Hunter between the boomers, totally. You got to balance out those rosters, right? That's the whole key. Definitely balance between Adams and Kamara. A little youth with Hunter. So Trevion to overhyped sleeper. I was hoping he made it back to me. One guy I'm not seeing on here. Oh, there he is. So after 4, we've got Neighbors, London, Worthy, Daniels, Flowers and Waddle go off the board. Oh, we're up. So Mixon goes off the board. I'm going to go Chuba Hubbard here. He looked awesome last year. Good old Canadian boy. Had my my running back room. So far we got 3 receivers, our quarterback, and our first running back off the board, Chuba. We're ending the 5th round right now. We've got Austin, who starts it off with a double tap in the tight end spot with Sam Laporta and Hawkinson at the 4-5. So he's coloring. I call that the coloring stacks with the yellows and then the purples. See who falls to us here. We've got 2 guys in the queue, so at least one of them is going to make us. Unless Abib takes one, makes it easy to make the decision, but... Beeves letting us sweat over here. All right, so he didn't take one of our guys. What do we like here? What do we like? All right, let's go with our RB2 here. All right, let's go with the let's go with our guy. Go Caleb Johnson here. It's deciding between Caleb and another player. Won't say anything until he's off the board, but if you guys watch the channel, you know I love me some Caleb Johnson. He was my favorite running back in this class. So as my RB2, I really like that. Usually in best ball, I'll do more of an anchor RB build, but I definitely like to get some starting RBs a little earlier in the redraft streets. Curious to see where the next guy goes that I had lined up in my queue. The only thing that worries me about Caleb is the offensive coordinator out there in Pittsburgh. I mean, otherwise, I think he's going to be a beast in the NFL, man. I think at worst he gets the Najee Harris role, but I also think he's a lot better than Najee Harris. So definitely like what he has to offer, the upside he has to offer. I've got quite a bit of them. I don't know where I'm at percentage-wise, but let's take a look here. So on the site overall, I'm at 17% with Caleb, but I don't have any of them in the Big Gorilla. So I'm actually happy I took him there because I definitely want some Caleb. And of course, the overhyped sleeper takes the guy that I was contemplating, was Jonnu Smith. I really like his value. He crushed last year, whether he had Tua or not. And of course, Dan's gonna take my my next guy lined up. So good on him. He's got two solid tight ends right now. He's got his three receivers in Wilson, McLaurin, and Tet, and then Trevion Henderson. So nice little build for Dan. See what's going to fall to us here as we start the 7th round. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, from what I could tell, I think he does. And from watching Tomlin in the interviews, he knows how much that Iowa team leaned on Caleb. So we'll see. Obviously, Warren is still there. But if he does, I mean, I feel like he's going in this round assuming that he's limited. If he had like full out, I think he'd go a little higher. But I think similar to like a David Montgomery, I feel like he's going to be used in that passing game. I think he had 20 something as a rookie in his last season in college as a receiver, receptions. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm higher on Caleb than most. Pearsall's definitely a guy I like. I was looking to grab there. Austin going 3 tight end build. And he's got his quarterback too in that 4 to 7 range. So he started Jefferson, McConkey, Higgins, then went Laporta, Hawkinson, Joe Burrow, and Andrews. So he's being a bit of a tight end hog, tight end bully as we call it. Of course. Ridley was a guy I was hoping might fall. Let me see where I have. All right. I'm going to go grab our first tight end off the board here in Ingram. See what he can do in Denver with Peyton, with Nix. Again, apart from Caleb, these are all, and Caleb and Worthy are guys that, are my kind of signature picks. But otherwise, a lot of these guys are guys I don't have a lot of. So Neighbors, London, Daniels, Caleb. Was considering Loveland, but I prefer grabbing Loveland as much as I like him. If he's my tight end 2 or later, like 2 or 3. I don't necessarily want to rely on my rookie tight end at this price, but I'm not going to argue with Abib, man. Back-to-back champ. Guy's the man. Love myself some Abib. That guy's a baller. Let's face it. He's got a nice build so far. Brian Thomas, Nakua, Olave, Godwin, Kyron Williams, and Walker. And then a little Loveland on the side. So definitely like his build so far. John. I'm trying to think who John might be. So John's got ASB and Sutton, and then McCaffrey, Hampton, Montgomery, and then Josh Allen. So he goes Aaron Jones. All right, see where some of these guys are going ADP wise now that I've got them lined up. Let me know what you think so far, guys. Remember to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Even if you watch this later on and you're not watching live, drop a comment, man. Any kind of comment, something you like, you don't like, questions you have, comments. That helps me, that helps the channel, helps support us, keeps us in the algorithm. Forgot to check if there was some Leafs hockey tonight. Too busy with this stream and PSG. So the Leafs are up 3-2, if anyone's wondering. Jacoby Myers goes off the board. Jacoby Myers is a nice pick, man. I really like Jacoby Myers. So Tyron Tracy, so John, whoever John is, has 5 running backs so far. A lot of different ways we can go right here. We're not committed really to, or desperate at any position. We've got the quarterback in. We've got the anchor tight end. We've got our 2 anchor running backs and our 3 stud receivers. So super comfortable right now. See who we can get in this next pick. I've got a few guys in the queue. Abib likes to take his time, which is fine. So he takes Warren. I'm going to go with what I think is a bit of value. This guy's been going early 7th round. And as much as I say I'm not stacking anymore, other than in best ball, I like me some Deebo Samuel, man. So I've got Jaden Daniels. Why not? Why not? As my wide receiver 4, I like him, man. He's a dog. He'll take a whole game on his shoulders and run with it. I think in the 8th round, I like that value. I had to give Jaden something to stack with, right? So Tracy's the guy I was looking at there. Mayers is the guy I was looking at. And then, of course, Loveland, if he came back around, could have been my tight end too. Shakir for the Bills is shocking. It's funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing. I was actually thinking that they... Or no, he never made it. Sorry. After Lamar went, I was thinking, I wonder if the Go Bills guy would take Allen if I let him go. But yeah, Shakir's a guy that's grown on me. I feel like we have this perception that Josh Allen spreads the ball, which I agree. He told us, again, he's my wide receiver 4 here, right? So I can play matchups. I can see how he adjusts to that offense, but it sounds like Jane Daniels super pumped to play with him. So I definitely like getting him there. But Shakir's been growing on me. Like looking at him, looking at what he did last year, the big contract they gave him in Buffalo. They didn't necessarily do anything too crazy in Buffalo. They brought in Elijah Moore. They brought in good old Canadian boy Palmer. Yeah, Christopher agreed. Totally get him in the end zone. I think they're going to use him. I mean, they didn't bring him in for nothing, right? They're going to rely on his experience. He's played on a couple Super Bowl teams. That's big for a team like Washington that's ascending with a rookie quarterback. We've seen it happen, man. We've seen these younger quarterbacks lean on more experienced vets. And McLaurin's still going to be there, but McLaurin was kind of alone last year. We saw Ertz really pop, especially in the second half last year. But I really think that Samuel is going to work a role in this offense. And I like getting the little tag team, the little stackage with Daniels and Samuel for sure here. So Austin takes Scattaboo. Tootin goes before him. I prefer Tootin to Scattaboo in like these rookie drafts that I'm doing. And Tootin's definitely a guy I considered, but I like to lock up a 4th running back or receiver just because you can start 3. And obviously with bye weeks and injuries, I like to be able to start 3 if I need to. Or sorry, you can start 4. What am I saying? Because you got 2 flex spots. So I want to at least have 4 receivers there. And running back, you can really build depth now, running back. Just how deep the rookie class is, how deep the positions become in the league. Like from this round on, we're just ending the round 8. You're not looking for guys that are going to necessarily start for you every week, right? You're really looking for guys that are going to play in bye weeks, injuries, play certain roles. throughout the season in your build. Just lining up some players that we like here coming back. All right, I think we got a few in our queue here. We got to put a couple extra just in case the Go Bills guys want to snipe us again. So deep end finally take their quarterback in Mahomes. And they take Ibuka, rookie receiver, as their fourth receiver. They've got Pollard, who I really like. I mean, it's the one. Let me switch this up here. There we go. If you guys in the live chat want a music change, you let me know, man. Like I said, I'm a little limited with what I can play. If I could play my own music, this would be a little more of a party, but we got to follow the rules or YouTube kind of kicks the stream off. So Dan takes one of the guys I lined up, or Theo, sorry, takes Brian Robinson. He's one of the guys I had lined up, hoping he'd come back. That's a good take by Lance, saying Kittle did better when Debo was out. Wonder if Debo kind of kills Ertz this year. I think he could kill Ertz, and I think he could kill some of the Austin Eckler action. But that's a solid take. Why does that look so small? That looks kind of small, no? Hopefully you guys can read those comments up there. Let me see if I can switch something here. All right, let's get our... let's take a look where some of these guys are going that we have lined up. We are in the 9th round right now. Robinson went early there. Oh, no, he didn't. He did not. He did not. He did not at all. He does go beginning of the 9th. Tootin is who went really early, so he's starting to climb. We've got a couple quarterbacks off the board in Caleb Williams and Justin Fields. Nice pickups by Noah and Todd there. Fryermuth goes off the board. All right, we're on the clock. Gonna check one thing here. All right. Another guy I haven't necessarily been drafting a lot of, but I think with the build we have right now, I think Isaiah Pacheco is someone I like here as an RB3. We've got Worthy. Get a bit of a KC stack here. Kind of bookmarks my bookends my rookie Caleb Johnson. So adds a little safety to my running back room. I think we should see a bounce back with Pacheco. I was worried about what they might do in the draft. Obviously, they bring in Brashad Smith, but I think he's more of a McKinnon type of guy. So we'll see. Like I said, Pacheco, not a guy I was necessarily drafting a lot of prior to the draft, just waiting to see what they do. But I like where he's sitting right now with regards to his role in that offense. If he can bounce back health-wise and come back in the form that he was prior to the injury, I think that we could see another solid season by him in that KC offense. Just trying to check my ADPs here, looking at Fantasy Mojo, of course. See where some of these guys have been going in the last 7 days. So far, out of the 9 spot, we've got Neighbors, London, Worthy, and Deebo Samuel at the receiving position. We've got Jane Daniels at quarterback, Hubbard, Caleb Johnson, and Pacheco. And then Evan Ingram at the tight end position. Yeah, that's not a bad point, Christopher. That's actually valid with regards to Freiermuth. I already like Freiermuth. He looked really good last year. Man, some of these beats I'm just not feeling, guys. All right, there we go. But, yeah, I think that's very valid. Freiermuth definitely getting a little bump there with Pickens gone, as does DK. Two guys I like here. Trying to think which one I have more of. Let me see here. Don't have any of him. Oh, we don't have either in this. All right, well, we definitely need to take my boy Jordan Mason. That's one guy I just have not been able to stop drafting this whole offseason is Jordan Mason. Even before he got sent to Minnesota, I just think he looked awesome in San Fran last year. As my RB4. Haha. Mike, man, she shouted out your show on this channel. So yeah, shout out to Steph, man. She gave you guys props. Don't worry. I was saying how I watched you guys earlier today, and she was saying how you guys got a great show. $19.12. I don't know what you mean. Mason Rudolph stackage. I got Jordan Mason. I don't know about Rudolph. Appreciate you, Christopher. Yeah, I like it so far. I'm all about that balance, right? So I started really heavy receiver, got myself my stud quarterback, so I don't have to take a second one in this draft. Likely is another guy I considered here, but I feel like now my running back room is pretty solid, pretty balanced out with Hubbard, Johnson, Pacheco, and Mason. Deebo Samuel as a wide receiver 4 with Jane Daniels is pretty sweet, and Evan Ingram leading the tight end room. So we'll see where we feel good in the sense that we're not really looking for a specific position. It's just a matter of which guys are going to fall to us. All right, guys, I'm going to be right back. I just got to go grab something. I will be right back in 2 seconds. we're back. Yeah, so Pitts is a guy I did have in my queue. It's funny you ask. 1912. So he's been going in the last... He's been going early or back end of the 9th. So I was looking at Jordan Mason or Kyle Pitts. So if I had, like, instead of Travis Etienne, if Jordan Mason had gone there, I was probably going to take Pitts as my tight end too. I still think he... Oh, excuse me. Man, got the beer burps. So as a tight end 2, I don't mind Pitts, even as a tight end 3. And you could see there that Noah lined him up with Tucker Kraft, who's a guy I really like as well. So Noah's got a nice little team so far. He's got Chanty, Henry, and Connor, JSN, Evans, Flowers, and Odunze. And then he's got Kraft and Pitts as his tight ends with Caleb Williams. A bit of a stackage with Odunze. Yeah, that's pretty valid. That's pretty valid with regards to Hopkins coming in. I mean, we all saw how Hopkins looked last year towards the back end, especially in the playoffs with KC. Wasn't favorable, but you got to think that he's had time with Baltimore to kind of work in that offense, and maybe he does eat into Likely, but maybe Likely eats a bit more into Andrews. Who knows, right, how that offense plays out. That's definitely a valid point, though, Lance. Pouring a little Superbock action. One of my favorite beers, my Portuguese beer. Heading out actually to the islands of Portugal later this month. We're going to Madeira and São Miguel. My father-in-law's from São Miguel, so we're going to head there for like a festival, a festive, as they call it, I think. And then we're going to head to Madeira, which is like a kind of the Hawaii of Europe. So some hiking, mountains, get to hike above the clouds, all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's kind of where I was when I was looking. It's funny you say that with regards to the Ravens, Christopher. When I was looking at Likely or Mason, I just feel more comfortable knowing when to start Mason, and I actually think that Mason's going to surpass Aaron Jones this year. I think that he ends up being the RB1 in that offense. I mean, Jones is old, man. He's old. He's coming off of some serious volume in the last few years. Garendo is another guy I was considering there. He goes actually at a pretty nice value. So I think, of course, Dan Williamson takes him there. Dan got a nice value, I think, on Garendo. All right, let's start lining the queue up. I got some guys that I like in this range. So we're in the mid 11th round. Noah took Strange there. That's a guy I had in my queue. Was hoping he would fall. Yeah. I used to be one of those guys, man. Lance is saying, I enjoy watching for who wins the old game of chicken by being the final team to draft a QB. Totally. It's funny, these redraft tournaments, every once in a while, I like to go a little earlier on the QB position. Just feel more comfortable not having to draft a second quarterback. Gives me an extra spot at those other positions. All right, let's see where... I don't know if this guy would make... Ah, go Bills, snipe me again with Harris. Damn it. All right. I'm actually going to go... Let me just see who's coming up. I'm trying to see where these ADPs are. All right. I'm going to go Jalen Wright here. He's another guy I like going into this year. As an RB5, I think he's got a lot of upside. Obviously, he's got A-Chain in front of him. Ollie Gordon coming in. I mean, I'm not that worried about it. But between him and another running back. So we'll see if my next guy makes it back to me, or where are we here? 12th round. Jaden Higgins goes off the board with Abib as their receiver 6. John takes the guy I was hoping comes back around, was Gesicki. So 12th round, Abib takes Aubrey. I was thinking of maybe going Aubrey here, getting that advantage. There's a guy I am looking at. Let me just pull something up here. All right, you know what? Let's keep building our running back room. I think after this one, we'll be pretty solid. But I'm going to go Tajay Spears. I feel like Spears and Pollard, were big winners in the NFL draft. There is a guy I just noticed was still on the board. There is a guy I noticed that's still on the board that I may have taken instead of Spears, but I do like the upside with Spears. I think that him and Pollard are pretty safe right now in that Tennessee offense. You got to think that offensive line is going to be an improvement over last year. So pretty settled in with the running back room now with Hubbard, Caleb Johnson, Pacheco, Mason, Wright, and Spears. There is a guy that's still on the board that I wish I had seen, or I wish that I don't know, I kind of looked at him and glanced over him, but it's interesting that he's fallen this far. We'll see when he goes off the board. Go Bills takes Ertz. I thought about going Ertz there as my tight end 2. So Stevenson is the guy I was kind of thinking it was a good value here. I wish, again, if I had kind of caught that a little better, I would have taken him instead of Spears, but I don't hate it. I think Spears has a lot of upside. And we'll see what happens with Ramondre, right? They bring in Henderson. I still think Stevenson has a role in that offense for sure. I don't know that Henderson necessarily come in and take over that running back room, but I feel like they'll probably have a committee between the two of them. Similar to Spears and Pollard. Just reversed, you know, Stevenson would kind of be the Pollard there, and that's why I would have probably taken Stevenson there. So I like to point out my one mistake of the draft, and that's probably my mistake is passing on Stevenson for Spears. So otherwise, I mean, the build specifically, I'm pretty happy with. I'm going to start focusing on specific positions here. So Dylan Sampson, DJ Giddens, a couple more rookie running backs off the board. Devin Neal. Be interesting what all these running backs do. I mean, Dylan Sampson, I feel like the gap between him and Judkins, he's a guy I've been taking, especially in rookie drafts. I feel like he could come in and really carve out a role in that Cleveland offense. I just worry about the offensive line, what that offense looks like. Who's that quarterback? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. What builds you like so far? Something you don't like, something that stands out. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this later on. Obviously, with the sharps that are in this room, it's going to be hard to find. All right, let's take a look here. Where are we now? 13th round, approaching the back end. Bateman's a nice little pickup in this range. I feel like he really bloomed last year. He's a prospect I really like coming into the NFL as a rookie, and then he got injured. But he looked good last year, man. So I like that pickup for Noah as his receiver 5. All right, let me just check something because I'm seeing someone that's still on the board and I'm wondering why. I'm just going to take this guy. I'm trying to figure out why he's still on the board. He normally goes... What round are we? 13th. Oh, maybe that's why. All right, let's go a little upside. Let's go Mason Taylor upside with our tight end too. I like his situation in New York. He's definitely a rookie I liked coming into the season. I like where he landed. He doesn't have much competition. It's basically Garrett Wilson and Brees, and that's about it. I mean, Lazard is still there. Marvin Mims was the guy I was considering that John took here. So beginning of the 14th round now. Still trying to figure out why. Let me just keep going here. Yeah, that's pretty ballsy. Not gonna lie, with the triple rookie tight end build by Abib. But I will not argue with Abib, I'll tell you that much. All right. We took a rookie. We're going to bookend this. I think Hunter Henry and Drake May definitely have a rapport. Let's get ourselves a third tight end. Nice little compliment, I feel like, with regards to getting Henry and Taylor. With Evan Ingram, nice little balanced tight end room. So 14 rounds. We're going 20 rounds with this draft. I know, it'll be interesting, right, in New England, because you've got Drake May in his second year. You got to think he's going to take a step forward. Last year, it was basically Hunter Henry and, like, Butte and Ramondre. That's basically it. So now that they bring in Henderson, they've got Diggs there now. They've got Kyle Williams, obviously, is there. But for me, that'll just open up the game even more, open up the offense even more for the defense. So I think Hunter Henry still remains a big target for May, especially in the red zone. Theo Johnson's a sneaky tight end this year. Like, go Bills there as their third tight end. All right, let's keep filling our queue here. We've got 3 names in there. I don't know how many of them make it back, to be honest. Lance saying Theo Johnson might need to beware of tight end Fidone. In New York Giants, former 5-star recruit and moved well at the combine. I'll have to check that out. Not familiar with that tight end. Where did he go in the draft? There we go. Now we got some good beats. All right, we loaded up the queue here with some guys. We'll see who falls back. Very late 7th round, but you never know, yeah. These tight ends, right? You never know. I mean, you look at the guys who have gone in the first versus the guys who have really popped in the NFL. It doesn't always align. So you never know where they're going to come from. Theo picks up Juwan Johnson. I'm surprised Dan didn't pick him up. I know he likes that. He likes JJ, that's for sure. But I guess he figures he's got Brock and Jonnu, so he's pretty good at the position. All right, let's see who is kind of falling value-wise here. I mean, once you get in the double-digit rounds, pretty much grab your guy. Woody Mark's a guy I like a lot. He goes off the board. I like his situation. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick up Ollie Gordon. I feel like one of these two, either Gordon or Wright, will pop in that Miami offense. I don't often handcuff or any of that kind of stuff, but I feel like if I can take two guys later in the same offense, yeah, that's a tough one. He's so young, Christopher, with Terrence Ferguson. I really like him as a prospect, but we'll see. We'll see. I think Higbee's probably done after this year. I think even contract-wise, I'd have to double-check that, but I feel like he's done after this year with Higbee, so I don't know. I don't know if he makes it on the field without a Higbee injury. I mean, that Rams team is definitely a contender. So I guess it all depends on how quickly he gets assimilated to the NFL. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, see? So 1912 said it there. Thanks, buddy. That's exactly it. He's done after this year, contract-wise. All right, 16th round. We got some guys in the queue here. Let me just see what. What do we got? 26 seconds. Let me just check one thing here. 18th round or what? 16th round. I'm going to take one of these top kickers. No, that's not what I meant to do. Shit. All right. I guess we got a kicker. I clicked it and then I hesitated there. Someone else I wanted to pick up, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll get one of these top kickers. To me, Dicker's a top three. Him, Aubrey, and then I got another guy that I like. McManus. Not necessarily one of those guys, but Bradley would know. That is an interesting one. All right. I don't know if these bye weeks are updated. That's kind of why I hesitated there. I don't know if these bye weeks are updated. You guys might know better than I would. I haven't looked at the schedule yet. That's something I need to get caught up on. But I just don't like that week 5 bye with Dicker. That's kind of why I was hesitant there. Let me see. That's it. Okay. For some reason, I thought it came out. I knew it was May, and I saw something on a stream. Someone was kind of doing a schedule show, and I was like, did I miss it? Thanks, Lance. Appreciate that, man. So you know what? I actually like grabbing Dicker there. There's Dicker, and there's one other kicker after Aubrey that I like grabbing, and I grabbed the other one today. Free looks with the kickers and the defense. Is that what you're saying? Go Bills. free looks is not until we know the schedule, though, right? All right, DJ, man. Come on. Come on, DJ. I'm not sure what Nick means with the free look. I thought free look was that first game of the season on the Thursday. Either way, you took Shipley. Shipley was a guy I had in my queue. Bastards. So far, we've got Jaden Daniels, we've got Chuba Hubbard, Caleb Johnson, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Mason, Jalen Wright, Tajay Spears, and Ollie Gordon. We've got Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Worthy, Debo Samuels, Evan Ingram, Mason Taylor, Hunter Henry, and Dicker the Kicker. Let me go pluck some guys out of the queue here. All right, let's hope this guy can come back to us. Let's see where he goes ADP wise. Going back to Fantasy Mojo. Shout out to Fantasy Mojo. Probably take him around earlier. It usually goes 18th. Oh, the kickoff game. I see. You guys got to tell me this before I take the kicker. I would have taken Shipley first. I see. Do we know who they're hosting it against? Is that against KC? Unknown opponent. Okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I didn't know what he meant there. I didn't know that got announced. CJ Stroud goes off the board. All right. I'm going to take Coker. I like him in that ascending Carolina offense. We are in the 17th round on the 17-18 turn here. Terrence Ferguson goes off the board. So 3 more picks. One of those has to be a defense. Two guys I'm deciding between. Let me see where their ADP goes. Ooh, okay. That's why this guy's falling. I see, said the blind man. Appreciate you, Lance. Check you later, brother. Appreciate you joining, man. All right, we're going to take Pat Bryant, who's a guy that I've been lining up in a lot of rookie drafts. Sean Payton talking about him like the next Michael Thomas of his offense. So I like taking him as my wide receiver. What are we at? 2, 4, 6. So pretty comfortable at all positions right now. We've got one quarterback in Jane Daniels. We got 2, 4, 6, 7 running backs with Chuba, Caleb, Pacheco, Jordan Mason, Jalen Wright, Tajay Spears, and Ollie Gordon. We got Neighbors, London, Worthy, Debo Samuels, Coker, and Pat Bryant as our rookie flyer. Tight ends are Evan Ingram, Mason Taylor, Hunter Henry, and then Cameron Dicker as our kicker. So I just saw something realizing why maybe Hunter Henry has been going a little later, but we'll see. We shall see what happens. Speaker battery's dying. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We'll see if it can last another 2.5 rounds. Guys, I appreciate you guys joining tonight. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop some comments. It's always helpful for the algorithm. Help support the show. If you're not already on the FFPC, myffpc.com. Use the promo code DRBaller. There's also a link in the description. I'm going to be doing when I get back from my vacay starting in January, I'm going to be doing I'm going to do kind of a Draft Room Baller League on the FFPC, and I'm going to be doing a contest. So if you use any of my promo codes, check in the show description. Player Profiler, if you're not already subscribed to Player Profiler, you get $25 off the all-in package. I've got you covered. I've got a little link or a promo code that you can use. Check the show description. If you take a picture or let me know that you've used any of my promo codes, you'll get an entry into the draw. You'll get an entry into the league as well. Once we get the league started, you'll be one of the first members of the Draft Room Baller Listener League. So make sure you let me know if you use any of the codes. And that just helps the channel, guys. It just helps me run this thing. All right, let me get back to... I wanted to check something else with some of these positions. All right. I have an idea where we want to go. All right. If we don't get sniped, we've got our next pick lined up. I wish we didn't have to take a defense. Truthfully. Let's see here. Big decision with this last positional pick. All right, maybe we'll do this. What are you saying, brother? I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. 1912. I'm going to take my defense. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean Niners defense or running back? Yeah, Jordan James. He's gone, brother. He went a while ago. He went. Abib picked him up in the 14th. Trust me, he's definitely someone I'm going after in rookie drafts. Like him a lot. Any running back in that Kyle Shanahan offense is gonna have value. To me, I'm not a CMC guy. Like I don't know that he lasts much in the season. All right, I got to figure out what I'm doing here. That helps, because that's who I was looking at. All right. I'm going to back up another basically my RB1. I'm going to take Trevor Etienne. I really like him as a prospect. I was considering going tight end here, but there are some rumors going around of New England maybe trading for a tight end, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Brooks went because I would have seen him. I hope he has. I assume, yeah, he went in the 13th. Yeah. He went in the 13th. These guys aren't messing around, man. They like their rookie running backs. Trust me. I was looking. I had the rookies only box checked off, but I like Trevor Etienne, man. He's all around back. Anything happens to Hubbard. I mean, obviously they bring in Dowdle, but Dowdle does deal with injuries, so we'll see, right? All right, so let's read off the roster one last time as we close off this draft. Jaden Daniels as our quarterback, Chuba Hubbard, Caleb Johnson, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Mason, Jalen Wright, Tajay Spears, Ollie Gordon, Trevor Etienne. Can never be too deep at running back. The receivers are Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Xavier Worthy, Debo Samuel, Jalen Coker, and a little upside with Pat Bryant in Denver. We've got Evan Ingram in Denver leading the tight end room, Mason Taylor and Hunter Henry, and then Cameron Dicker as our kicker, Dicker the kicker, and the Detroit defense. So pretty happy with the build. Obviously in this room, I mean, you're not going to get much value-wise. These guys are a bunch of sharks. Some of the best drafters in high-stakes fantasy right now. I mean, just beside me on each side, Go Bills and Abib have won the main event. Never mind this little league big gorilla. They've won the main event a couple times each. So I got sniped a few times, especially by the Go Bills guys. But pretty happy with the team overall. Take a look at the other teams in the draft. Turn this thing off because it's dying anyways. If there's anyone you like, I feel like every team in here is probably pretty legit. There's not really any weaknesses. I mean, I could go around and criticize. I could criticize my own team. My big mistake, I think, was, or the one mistake that I can highlight that I kind of caught was, and you can let me know if you think this is a mistake or not, but when I took Tajay Spears in the 12th, I, for some reason, just forgot that Stevenson was still there. I would have taken Ramondre over Tajay Spears. And that would have gave me, you know, not that I stack much in redraft anymore. I'm mostly stacking in best ball, but would have given me a little stackage with Henry. But that's fine. I like the upside of the Tennessee running backs. They didn't bring in much. You got to think the offensive line has improved. They're bringing in an improved quarterback in that offense. So I like the upside with Tajay Spears, especially if we see Pollard maybe dealing with an injury. Otherwise, it's been great drafting with these guys. I really, really appreciate you guys joining the stream tonight. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Like I said, I do at least 3 drafts, live drafts a week. Usually best ball. I throw in some redraft like tonight. And then in June, starting in June, the GOAT District High Stakes Fantasy Football Show is going to be back. My boy Dan Williamson is going to be joining me. Once a week, we're going to be bringing in the biggest, baddest drafters out there in fantasy land. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of it. And that's all we got, guys. Help support the channel. There's promo codes in the description. PlayerProfiler will get you a discount on the all-in package. If you're looking to stream, make your own content, and you have a MacBook or a Mac product, I use Ecamm Live to produce these shows, and I love it, man. Like, it's one of the best things I ever signed up for. So you've got a link for that. You get a nice little discount on that. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys joining and tuning in tonight. It was a fun draft. If you're watching this later on, make sure you comment. Let me know what you liked, you didn't like. You want to tell me you didn't like my team? I want to hear it, man. I want to hear where you think I went wrong or what teams you preferred. What's your best team that you like the least in this draft? Otherwise, make sure you use the code DRBaller if you're not already on myFFPC.com, our favorite platform to draft best ball, redraft, dynasty. They've got it all, and you'll get $25 off your first team. You guys are awesome. We'll check you all later. Have a good night.